On Easter, this channel rose from the dead and posted its first video, a condensed version of my written analysis for NVIDIA's Q1 earnings. The full post was posted on NVIDIA stock subreddit and was overall a pretty complete view of my expectations for the report at the time. The missing piece I decided to leave for later was guidance, and now that it's been almost a month and NVIDIA's report's coming in less than 2 weeks, I'm revising my estimates to now include guidance. The TLDR was $1 per share of earnings on 45 billion of revenue, and the analysts' estimates were 92 cents and 43.1. I had a price target of 135, which assumed $4.50 per share of earnings in the year. And the first thing that catches my eye is that analyst consensus for both this and next quarter has dropped considerably over the last 30 days. When I estimated my dollar per share, that was against 92 cents. That number has been revised down to about 87 cents with the uncertainty around the tariffs and international trade overall. And even with the downward revisions, investors have been buying up the stock since Easter Sunday. The stock was around 101 per share that weekend and has now rallied almost 35% to about 135 going into this weekend. Viewers with a keen eye will notice that 135 is my current price target and may question my conviction going into the print. Keep watching to find out. My initial analysis considered the impact of NVIDIA's 8K filing about the H20 China chips. While the news was public at the time, my analysis may have underestimated the impacts of 2 weeks in a quarter. My initial estimate for data center revenue was 41 billion, and with more time to digest this information, I'm revising that to about 40.5 billion in Q1. I am not changing my estimates for robotics and auto, nor professional visualization. In positive news, noted in my first analysis that my eye would be on AMD and Microsoft to see what they have to say about the gaming industry rebound. My initial estimate called for $2.75 billion and was a pretty conservative estimate for Q1. Strong numbers from AMD and Microsoft suggest that gaming has rebounded more than anticipated, and I am upping my estimate to $2.85 billion. Again, sharp viewers will notice that overall the revenue estimate has decreased, and yes, while dropping, it's not anywhere near the level the average analyst expectations has dropped. I slashed $500 million from data center, but added 100 million to gaming, resulting in a decrease overall of about 400 million. So, given that my initial estimate was $45.0 billion, now we're sitting at 44.6, which is still considerably higher than the average estimate of 43.1 billion. I'm pretty satisfied with the estimates from Easter for margins and costs that led to calculating EPS. As a quick recap, I went with the company issued guidance of 71% gross margin and $3.6 billion in operating expenses. There was no guidance for non-operating, and I estimated $3.8 billion, and I'm sticking with that. The final input was shares outstanding, and while it is possible the company bought back more shares given the stock's decline in Q1, the buyback estimate was already aggressive, so it will remain unchanged. Since we're all sophisticated investors who fully understand EPS and how it's calculated, I'll just show the equation we all know by heart. Counting to the nearest cent, we only dropped from $1 to 99 cents. This means I'm expecting a pretty large beat on earnings in Q1, but if you notice, the stock has rallied 35% this month, suggesting this is not a unique claim. What will determine the stock's direction, in my opinion, is forward guidance, and analysts are expecting Q2 revenue to come in at 46.12 billion on a dollar per share of earnings. I'm slightly higher than that at 47 billion in revenue and $1.10 in EPS, but that's not big enough beat for me to call it a positive catalyst. I own 100 shares at 107.7 and sold a 200 strike covered call that I'm holding through the print. Looking ahead at my price target, weighting, and ratings, I've upped my current price target to 140 and included a 1-year price target. I also listed NVIDIA as equal weight compared to the tech index QQQ and a hold rating on the stock. I hope to see you after the report.